Hello everyone, my name is Jamie Cheerio.
And Josh Lockhart.
And we're excited today to be able to share with you what we consider to be the best business ever. Now, between the two of us, decades of experience in different businesses, entrepreneurship, wantrpreneurship, direct sales, network marketing, a handful of different things, and we've jumped from opportunity to opportunity, searching for the right vehicle, searching for the place that we could call home. And we believe that we found it here with Family First Life, and we believe that this video is going to tell you guys why we believe that this is the best business ever and how this could be a great opportunity for you as well. So, my background, I have 10 plus years of, trying to work in different businesses. I've made a lot of money, I've lost a lot of money. I built up huge sales teams, had some different political things that happened that, made those sales teams go away. Jumped from company to company trying to rebuild those opportunities. Each time we did it, the sales teams got smaller and smaller. Tried to start my own direct sales network marketing company, built a 7-figure traditional business and watched it all fall apart, and it felt like I owned a job. And then I found insurance, and I never in a million years thought that I would wake up one day and say I want to be an insurance agent when I grow up. But I'll tell you this right now, the insurance industry, specifically working with Family First Life, has changed everything for me and my family. Through those years of making a lot of money and losing a lot of money, I developed some serious liabilities. I had pretty nasty bankruptcy that I went through, years and years ago, that when I came into Family First Life, I was fighting to get out of. And I'm so grateful and blessed for this opportunity to have been able to independently get an insurance license and go out and help families in what I consider to be the most honorable profession on the planet, and really change my entire situation for my family, to go from my wife being a teacher and me barely earning the income that I could to support us, to confidently being the provider for my family. It changed everything.
I can relate to that. I mean, I first got into the insurance industry 15 years ago at the age of 22. Didn't know anything about insurance. All I knew is I had to pay my auto insurance. And so I've been in or around the industry for the last 15 years. First as a life insurance agent, struggled with the low comp model. Maybe you can relate, right? I went out and sold 20 policies in a month, and I think my commission for the month was $2,500, barely covering rent. Then I went on and said, well, maybe it's not the right company or the right product. I need to go out and do, health insurance and property and casualty and all these different things. And that didn't work out. Actually, turns out that home insurance wasn't a great thing to sell in 2008, 2009 when the economy was collapsing. Then I spent 14 years in direct sales and network marketing, where quite honestly, the bulk of that time was an absolute struggle, trying to raise a family on the ups and downs of what that looks like. You talk about sometimes you're making money, sometimes you don't know when the next check's coming in. I remember one stretch, working every single day, producing every single day, and not getting paid in that business for 5 months at a time. And that's why I had a wife and 2 kids. And then finally, at the end of that 14-year career, got into a good position where I finally broke through the 6-figure mark. And I thought, man, one day, someday, if I could only make 6 figures, only to get there and find out, hey, once you tack on a family and kids and all the responsibilities, it's really not that much. And if you're not there yet, you hear that and you go, well, that's crazy. Well, I'm telling you, that's the case. And so what I found at the end of that trail is, like, there's got to be something more. And I really felt like after a 14-year career, I'd just banged my head against the wall, and I just couldn't break through and really experience the results that all the people on the videos and the stage always talked about. And so there was a couple of key things, to be honest with you, that made me stay away directly from the insurance industry. When I saw Family First Life, there was 3 things that they solved for me right away. I said, based on those 3 things, I can do this and I can win big. And so that really got me excited just to take a look. And that's all you're here to do today, is to simply take a look. And if you see the information as valuable as we did, you're going to take a deeper dive and most likely get involved like we did. So appreciate you taking the time out to take a look today.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to talk a little bit about, Family First Life as a company and how it got started. So Family First Life was founded by a guy named Sean Mike. He founded this company in 2013. Really wanted to found a company that was for agents, by agents. His background was as a social worker, got into the insurance industry, quickly became the #1 producer in that company, and he even helped over 800 families personally in a year. And he found out really quickly there were some things that were happening with the industry, some politics, some things that he didn't like. So he created a mission to really change the entire insurance industry forever. And he has this quote that he always says. He said, "My goal is to have an army of men and women who have a bigger bank account than any other agents in the history of this industry." So without us trying to give you Sean's story, we're going to go ahead and let Sean tell you himself.
People, I got my insurance license in 2008, and Jamie, I got it because my life financially was not where I thought it would be. Excuse me, the gentleman named Jim said, "Are you keeping your options open to make some extra money outside of what you're currently doing?" I'm thinking, I make, 80 grand a year at the state. I did some real estate, but I just wasn't getting ahead. So I got my license, worked part-time for a year, loved it, loved helping families. And I started building the business, didn't really understand that concept. And then after I worked for about 5 years, I'm like, why don't I just go ahead and why don't we just open our own company? Why do I got to work here? I think we could do it a lot better. We could be agent-centric. We could pay agents real well. We could make sure that I'm also big on winning as a team. I don't like egotistical people. And the industry had a lot of people that were like supposedly revered and everybody was telling how great they were. I'm like, dude, I've met them. They're not that great. Why can't we just build a company together where everybody gets taken care of, everybody can make as much money as they want to or not? That's completely up to you. But like, you have your compensation level, we pay bonuses, we don't charge anybody for anything. That was a big thing for early on too. We're not going to our training. When you say you can sell anywhere, I would agree you can to some degree, but you can sell at a place better if the people are actually selling, which I was always selling. I could teach you, so I would train you. And we have so many people that are actively out there doing this that we're not training from hypotheticals, we're training from experience. So it really doesn't allow, our competition really doesn't have any chance because they can't compete with us. Because they parade the same people up. They go year after year after year, and you go to events, and you ever been to a meeting or a training, and you're like, dude, we've heard him talk over and over again, and he's really not that good. I'm not a seniority guy. I don't care if somebody's been around for 10, 12 years. My deal is, if you're having success, will you share with the men and women we work with? Will you tell them what you're doing? Will you tell them how to do it? Will you help course correct them? And are you speaking from experience? So that's why when when we launched company in 2000, it was 12 or 2013, our first full year was 14, we issued $10, $11 million. And I told everybody we'll be $1 billion company. We'll issue $1 billion in premium in a year, annually, within the first 10 years. Well, we're now into our 10th year. Our last month, I said we're pretty close to being at 80 million paid. 80 million, 12, get you close to $1 billion, which nobody's ever done. Nobody's ever talked about doing it in our space, middle American market. So we also knew we had to understand leads, and we're also very eclectic with leads. We don't care where you get leads from. Get them from wherever you want. We have plenty of vendors we help push, promote, but you find a great vendor, as long as they're compliant, get it. We do good at helping when you need help and staying out of the way when you're good. And a lot of people, they can't lead that way because their self-image is low, and those that can't manage micromanage. So for me, I was like, I don't need to micromanage anybody. Let's let people, like, you come in, you went out there and helped a ton of families, you built your business, nobody micromanage you, same thing. We're here to support you. My job is to help when it gets screwed up. But if we have ridiculously high compensation, which we do, and if we have higher than everybody else, which we do, if we have the training is the best because the people are actually talking from experience. And again, I've never been afraid to confront reality, right? Interrogate the truth. When people go like, well, I'd like to train. I'm like, you've been here for 3 years, you don't do anything. Why would I ever let you train people? Because you might hurt somebody. That's the other thing. If you're coming here to help your family and Tom, who likes to hear himself talk, gets up and trains, and Tom's no good, I actually harmed your family because I didn't have the courage to talk to Tom. So for me, training was the best. Leads, eclectic platform. We have everything you can ever imagine. We've been very innovative technologically. Jamie, a lot of guys like y'all have helped us do that, like walked us through it. We're wide open. If it works, we support it. If it doesn't work, we're like, dude, we probably shouldn't do that, right? We wanted to pay a monthly bonus. Like, we knew we had to do that. We knew that we had to share money with the people that are building the company. We pay out millions of dollars a month, like literally millions of dollars a month, millions of dollars. I know because I paid out, right? So you can build a business here. You don't need to hire tens of thousands of people. You can hire as many as you want. So, I mean, we made it, we were the best place to sell. and the best place to build. So either way, it's the best place to be. And we want everybody to have the success they want. And we don't want anybody to be that law of the lid. We wanted to break that. We want everybody to be able to achieve whatever they wanted to and have fun doing it with people we like. So that's that's where we started and how we got here.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So Family First Life is a market disruptor. And you kind of hear that and you think, you know, everybody says they're the market disruptor. Netflix was the market disruptor of the movie rental industry. Airbnb was the market disruptor of the hotel and hospitality industry. Uber and Lyft were the market disruptor of the taxi industry. Amazon of retail. Well, what Family First Life decided to do is, like, when everyone else decides to go left, we go right. And we're going to explain, you know, why Family First Life is the way that it is, why they're growing so fast, and why agents are coming over here. Super excited about what we have to offer. So we don't want you to take our word for it. We really would love for you to see and meet some of our agents and take their word for it. So here we've got Dustin Bouchard, who he came from being a bartender and a server to, you know, now is consistently helping 40 families a month all over the phone on our virtual platform.
All right, here we have Kasia Stanuski. In her mid-20s, she was a full-time nanny making $2,000 a month, door dashing on the side, really living paycheck to paycheck. And 18 months later here at Family First Life, she consistently helps 10 to 20 families a month. And her personal financial situation is one that she's now out of debt and, you know, starting to do the things that she's always kind of wanted to do, planned on doing, getting ready to start a family. So excited for her and her success.
Next, we've got Alvern Vomsteeg, one of my great friends. He was a financial planner for years and years before he got into Family First Life, and he gave up a successful financial planning practice to come here, and he's become one of our top producers on the life insurance as well as our fixed indexed annuities, and he's built a massive team that's helping between 400 to 500 families a month.
And also Quentin Kelly, a personal friend of mine, and maybe you can relate. You know, maybe you are somebody who, you know, you're not 20 anymore, and you have a family, and you want to do, you know, bigger and better things, and you've made promises to them before, and you want to come through on those promises. So Quentin was a career salesperson. You know, he'd worked in the insurance industry, he'd worked in direct sales, he'd worked in car sales, had some good years, some down years, and he told me, he said, look, Josh, I really want to do this, but I don't want to make the jump and have to tell my wife again in a year that I'm going to be starting something new yet again. I want this to be the thing that I can plant the flag and call home and actually, you know, retire my wife and do all the things. And, you know, here about a year later, he's doing exactly that.
And lastly, I want to introduce you to Sean Simpson. Sean Simpson, great friend, top producer, Hall of Fame producer within our agency, 6 businesses that he currently owns and operates today. He's the story where you say, hey, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. Owning 6 businesses, seeing Family First Life and saying, that's where I want to build my legacy. That's a powerful thing to hear from somebody who already has a successful real estate investing business, construction and flipping and remodeling company, and so many other things. He said, I want to sell life insurance and teach other people how to sell life insurance, and that's going to be the legacy that takes care of my family. So now you've heard, my story as well as Josh's story, and so many other agents that we've partnered up here with Family First Life. And what's different between all of us? Everybody has a different background, different family structure, different ethnicity, different situation. Yet they've chosen Family First Life as the place to plant their flag. So no matter where you come from, who you are, your educational background, all that we're looking for, because the commonality between everybody is their desire to change their family's life, their desire to leave a legacy behind, their desire to serve and help families and have a heart to serve. That's what keeps everybody together, and that's what's common between everybody we just mentioned. All right, so throughout this video, we're going to talk about really what to consider when choosing not just the right IMO, insurance marketing organization like Family First Life, but what to look for when you're considering the right opportunity and the things that really attracted us here. So with Family First Life, we are independent, non-captive insurance agents. So we partner up with Family First Life. Family First Life does not offer any of its own insurance products. You've heard this term in this video already, IMO, or insurance marketing organization. Family First Life is our brokerage. They're the company that we partner with that offers us the duplicatable franchise system without the cost, the plug-and-play structure that allows us to be an independent life insurance agent and agency owner. And that comes along with so many benefits, whether that being, the freedom of, when and where I want to work, whether I want to do it in-home or virtual like we've talked about, whether I want to work part-time or I want to work full-time, if I want to buy leads or if I want to talk to friends and family, nobody's ever going to hold your head down and say, hey, you have to do it this way. We will make strong recommendations for you based on what we've seen others succeed with, on what we think will be best for your situation, but you're totally independent and you have the opportunity to make independent decisions like an independent 1099 business owner. And as an independent 1099 business owner, we're not CPAs, but there are incredible tax benefits to being an independent 1099 business owner, which we can obviously talk about in other videos. But being an independent agent is incredible. Number one, we talked about the idea of being non-captive brokers. Now, why is that important? Because we work with probably 20 or 30 different A+ rated insurance carriers, where we have the ability to help clients with insurance and not just shove them into one box. If I work for XYZ on the corner insurance agency, captive agent, and I say, hey John, sorry, you're not able to qualify for our product today because you didn't pass the medical exam. Sorry, you're going to have to go look somewhere else. I have no other options for you. But because we have 20 or 30 different options, I can say, John, I can definitely get you qualified for something today. And, we are number one, like Josh had mentioned, with so many of these different partners that we have. We're number one with Americo, Mutual of Omaha, Transamerica, John Hancock, AIG, Aetna, and so many others in life business. So because we're a non-captive agency, we can make a selection, we can make a recommendation for a client and put them in the position that's best for them, not best for us. And it gives us an opportunity to cover someone who's healthy or cover someone who's not healthy. And on the other side, work with companies that we know are going to approve people fast rather than getting them stuck in the underwriting process for weeks or even months. So we get excited about the fact that we have so many different carrier partners and that we can be a brokerage and serve our clients to the best of our ability.
All right, so maybe this all sounds great to you, but at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, who am I actually going to sell to? I've actually worked for places in the past where they told you to make a list of your friends and family, and I have a very small family, and at that time, very little friends. So I was in and out of business very, very quick. But we're a lead-based business. Just like any company, they spend money on ads, and that's what they do. In the insurance business here at FFL, it's no different, right? We are calling people who have raised their hand in some capacity and said, hey, I'm interested in learning about life insurance. So we have varying lead types. It could be something generated from the internet. They've gone on Google, typed in life insurance quote. That'd be one of our internet leads. Or maybe it's a direct mail piece, right? They had something in their mail about the state regulated final expense or protecting their mortgage, and they've filled out the card and mailed it back in. That's a direct mail piece or a mail drop. And of course, social media has been able to create all kinds of lead forms, whether it be Facebook final expense or even YouTube, people looking for final expense insurance. We have varying lead types, and we have dozens and dozens of lead vendors that we can share with you in-house and third party. But at the end of the day, we have several different types of products that we sell within this life insurance industry. Number one is mortgage protection. Somebody said, hey, I just got or refinanced a mortgage. I want to make sure if something happens to me, it's protected. Number two would be final expense. I want to take care of my burial and cremation, not leaving a bill behind to my loved ones. I want to make sure to take care of that. Index Universal Life, IUL. Maybe you've seen this on social media or YouTube. It's something that is becoming very popular today to help people to save and grow their money on a tax-free basis. And of course, FIAs or fixed index annuities, right? Depending on when you're seeing this, the last year, the market hasn't been kind to us. And as you get older, you really don't want to take more risks and lose money. So we help people in their retirement to be able to, participate in the upsides of the market, but with no downside. And so all four of those platforms and prongs are our approach to life insurance here at Family First Life.
Now, I think one of my favorite things about working with Family First Life is just the incredible training that we have, and everything's free. So I come from an industry, and so does Josh, where whenever there's a company convention, it's $199 to sit there, in the general admission, and $499 to sit on the floor, and $1,000 if you want to sit in the front row, and $2,000 if you also want to have lunch with the CEO. And everything at Family First Life is free from our top events. We had 10,000 people at our national convention at the Miami Marlins Stadium, and it was 100% free for our agents to attend. We used to throw Super Saturday trainings in our previous businesses, and it was $5 or $10 to attend at the door to be able to come to these trainings. Everything that we do here, again, is free. So from our in-person live events to our virtual boot camp trainings, none of our platforms have a membership fee. You'll never pay anything to Family First Life whatsoever for training, number one. Number two, we only allow our current top producers and top agency managers to have a voice in our company. Now, anybody's free to say what they want to say in this business, but at the end of the day, if you're not personally helping 20, 30, 40 families a month, we don't give you a mouthpiece to be able to train our agents. And if you're not currently doing it, that mouthpiece is taken away as well, because who wants to hear from somebody who helped 20 families a month 20 years ago and they say, hey, back in the day, here's how I used to do it, versus somebody who's doing it today, especially in the state of the world right now. You need to hear from people who are doing something today that's relevant to you. And same thing with top agency managers, not someone who built a team 10 years ago, but somebody who's doing it today, somebody who knows how to build a business, based on what everybody's experiencing right now. So we only let our top producers and top agency managers train that are active, and we're regularly updating training all the time to help it get better and better and better. So we have some of the best training in the entire industry. We have endless podcasts and videos on YouTube where other companies, other industries, they're constantly using our training to help their sales agents get better.
So Jamie, when I first got into the insurance industry, I mean, it was very, very archaic. I was 22 years old. I was doing 40-page paper applications, driving to someone's house, giving them a mouth swab, sending it in, hoping that they get approved 2 months later, if at all, and not getting paid. So you can tell, I mean, that was what kept me out of the industry. And so what I love about Family First Life and the independency that it gives is, we're cutting edge, right? This is not your great grandfather's insurance agency. Whether that be e-apps to all the carriers, right? Whether it be from your phone, laptop, desktop, you can submit business right on their portal from, any device, anywhere. To all the, our sales training softwares or latest technologies with our Zoom rooms or our communication CRM platforms, right? You go, hey, how do I keep in contact with my customers? Send them birthday cards, or, know where everybody's at in the process, or text campaigns, email campaigns. This is 2023. We have to stay up on this stuff, right? We have implemented these things, and we continue to see, hey, where could we advance? And we're always the first ones to take that next step to make it easier for our agents and ultimately help more families and customers.
So if you're talking about how the compensation and your opportunity doesn't matter, you're lying. You're absolutely lying. And Family First Life, even though it's not all about the money, I talk about how this is the most honorable profession on the planet, helping people with life insurance. It's such a incredible mission that we're a part of. It helps that we have the #1 compensation in the entire industry. So when you look at the traditional industry, how the life insurance industry was founded, the reason why, Sean and so many others were, so attracted creating a new opportunity like Family First Life is the industry standard is start your new agent at 30, 40, 50% commission. And then there's a manager somewhere in between making 70, 80% commission. And then another manager making about 100%. And then the corporate team that makes something above that. So you've got 3 or 4 different entities above you that are making more on a sale than you do when you did all the work. So Sean kind of founded the company with a different mentality, and he said, well, what if I paid the agent the most because the agent did the most of the work? So we have a commission grid that our starting compensation actually starts at 80% commission, and it goes all the way up to 145% commission with our different top carriers, which is funny because our bottom commission, our starting commission is the top commission at other IMOs that we allegedly go ahead and compete with. So in regards to compensation, we have the best, most lucrative compensation in the entire industry. And one of the things that's so incredible about our bonus program is just how generous it is in comparison to so many other IMOs out there. I'm not going to give specific numbers, but millions and millions of dollars in bonuses are paid out through Family First Life every single month. And at some of our competitors, it's maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of bonuses paid out in comparison to the millions of dollars in bonuses that we pay out. So at Family First Life, we appreciate our agents and our managers, and we want to continue to incentivize them to grow and do better. So one of the big topics in insurance in general and why people get into the industry is because they hear about this topic called renewals. They hear about this idea of if I sell a policy once, I can get paid for it every single year. And that's one of the most valuable things when it comes to selling insurance. Now, again, the traditional life insurance industry, when you come into the industry, they want to take your renewals hostage because they don't know if you're going to be here long term, and they want them for themselves. So Family First Life, they said you're vested day one. So what does vested mean? Well, some of our competitors, they will give you a 10-year vesting period, a 5-year vesting period, where you have to be with the company for 5 or 10 years before you can get paid on a single one of your policies. You have to be with the company for 5 or 10 years before you can receive those renewals. What Family First Life says is they're going to give you day one vested renewals where, let's say Josh comes into the business and he helps 100 families his first year, and he says, you know what, I actually don't know if selling insurance is even a good fit for me. I'm going to go and be a real estate agent. I'm going to sell solar. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to spend more time with my family. But Josh, he has good business. He keeps it on the books. He keeps his chargebacks at bay. He keeps his contracts active. When that year comes around and that renewal comes through, he's going to be able to continue to earn those renewals for the rest of his life, regardless of what happens, because that's his book of business. Family First Life, we don't steal your book of business. That's your book of business. As long as you stay in good standing with the carriers, you're vested from day one and for the rest of your career.
All right, and you've probably watched videos like this in the past. At this point in the video, they said something like, and this is only ... insert the dollar amount. Well, here at Family First Life, we don't believe in any of that, right? You don't have to pay anything to us in order to, get your business in a box or any nonsense like that, right? We don't charge anything to anybody to, have them get set up as an independent contractor with FFL. In fact, you do have to get licensed. You have to be a licensed insurance agent to be able to offer these products. And so there are some costs included to the state to get your license, right? So check with your state requirements. In my state, I think it was like around $50 I had to pay the state in order to go and take that test. So there are some things included for the state requirements, but not to FFL, okay? Now, in addition to that, there is a course requirement. In most states, you're going to have to complete a 40-hour online self-guided course. Now, the course cost is $200. Okay, that's not to Family First Life. That is to the course itself. And I'm so happy to say that here at FFL, we actually waive that. So that doesn't come out of your pocket, doesn't come out of my pocket, but if you come on board and you're one of the people that say, hey, I can do this, then they're going to go ahead and waive that fee. So that's just one other reason why Family First Life is the best IMO to work with. All right, like we said before, you are an independent agent. You are a 1099 business person, so you're in business for yourself, but certainly not by yourself. And so upon getting started, we have something that we call the New Agent Boot Camp, where you're going to learn, the scripts, the training, whether you're selling in-home or over the phone. We're going to tell you exactly what to do from people that are currently doing it. In addition to that, what are the best lead strategies to buy? How much do people usually spend based on how much you want to make and how much you want to work, right? So you don't have to worry about, figuring all this out. Now, maybe you're the type of person that says, hey, I got this, I can handle it. Still, we're going to give you the training and support so you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so you can move faster.
One of the things that I value so much about Family First Life is the community that we've developed. So whether that's our Facebook groups, our Zoom live dials, our in-person meetings, there is an opportunity for you to plug in and see other agents. And what it did for me is it offered me social proof. Seeing hundreds, if not thousands, of other agents that were succeeding, selling insurance, helping families, sharing their testimonies of what it was like and how much they enjoyed it, how much they were growing as people, how much they were helping their families and changing their financial situation. So we've got our Facebook group, which we'll go ahead and get you plugged into, as well as a bunch of other communities, chats and things where you can obviously connect with other agents and just have a positive environment where you see other people getting recognized, live trainings, live dial sessions, and a spot where you're really able to plug in and feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourself. Is we try to get together in person. We try to get together, whether it be in person for our lock-in sales events, where we come together in an office or an Airbnb somewhere in the country, and we could have anywhere between 5, 10. We've actually had upwards of 50 people at one of our lock-ins for 2 or 3 days, where we come together and we say, hey, before we leave, we're going to teach you everything that you need to know to be able to go out and be successful and help your first family with insurance. Now, You can build this business from anywhere in the entire country. We have in-person offices, over 400 locations. Now, you might be someone who doesn't have an office that you can plug into. This is for you. We offer once a month an opportunity for you to come out to our lock-in events where you can learn how to sell quickly. You can learn how to build an agency quickly, rather than sitting in your spare bedroom trying to figure it out for 2, 4, 5, 6 weeks. Well, you could come together and for 2 or 3 days avoid all the mistakes and the landmines that you might hit if you were by yourself by being around other people who are doing it. So we love it because not only do we have an opportunity to teach you quickly, but it's an opportunity for you to connect, an opportunity for you to network, to build culture, for you to meet other agents, to meet other people like you, people with similar stories, people with different backgrounds, and an opportunity for you to see, hey, if it can work for them, maybe it can work for me. So I highly, highly encourage that you plug into one of our next lock-in events. What type of characteristics of a person would you say would be someone who would be a good person to work here?
I think you have to care about other people. I mean, you just do. I think at the end of the day, if you're a salesperson and you're selling a product, but you don't really care about the people and they don't really need the product, life insurance is a product that everybody has to have because everybody's going to die. And it's so vitally important that you genuinely have to care about the other people. And so if you got a heart for service, you don't have to be a great salesperson. Most people that do really well here, I don't consider them great salespeople. When I saw the leads, I was like, we're just taking orders. Like, I've been in sales organizations. Sales organizations are trying to convince somebody to do something they didn't ask to do. You walked in, you may or may not need furniture, and for them to buy something they probably don't need. Like, a new couch isn't essential. A new car isn't essential. It's just not. So at the end of the day, Jamie, a heart for service, hard worker, I do think, and be open to learning. I mean, for me, I don't care what age I get to. If you're better at something than me, I'm listening. You're better at something than me, I'm listening. I don't care what it is. If you have more success than me, I don't care your age, your background, education, doesn't matter to me. If you walk in and cut off jeans and a shirt you've worn every day for the last 2 years, if you're better than me, I'm all ears. I'm listening to you.
So I think that we can confidently say that Family First Life is the best place to sell insurance. There's nowhere better in the entire industry to sell insurance, but I would go out on a limb here, Josh, and I would say I think that Family First Life is the best place to sell, period. Whether it's real estate, it's door-to-door, solar, pest control, it's digital marketing, it's getting into cryptocurrency and all of these different opportunities that are out there on the market. We've searched and we've searched and we've searched, and I truly believe with everything in my being that selling insurance, again, is the most honorable profession on the planet, and selling insurance with Family First Life is going to be one of the most lucrative opportunities that you can ever come across, evidenced by the fact that we have thousands and thousands of agents where this has changed their life forever.
All right, at this point in the video, we really found that you're probably fit into one of 3 categories, right? You're person A that says, hey, this sounds great, I'm all in. So if that's you, definitely get back with a person that, shared this video and say, hey, I'm an A. Or maybe you have some questions. Questions are great. Now, what I found is, when I was first taking a look at this, I didn't go out and ask those questions to people who didn't know anything about calling leads or didn't know anything about the insurance industry. So we definitely want to help you get your questions answered. So if that's you, just let the person know, say, hey, I'm a B, I have some questions. Or C, hey, thanks, but no thanks. This is not for me. C, see you later. That is okay. Everything isn't for everybody. So just let us know if you're an A, B, or C so we can help you accordingly. Thanks for watching.